friends. Welcome back to an all-new episode of Daphne's Detention. Welcome back, Internet friends. Today we will be going over the newest updates regarding Dr. Spencer Tepe and his wife, Mo, short for Monique. We will be going over the latest information that has just been put out by the police. I also recorded a video the other day showing that there was possible DV before this was all brought out into the open by the police. I will show you some information on that regarding that information. So here is a photo of the Monique and her husband, Spencer. This is a very hard subject to talk about because it's just tragic what happened. Before we get started, please make sure you hit that like, share, and subscribe. I am growing my channel and I'm in hopes to get to that 17,000 mark here soon. I appreciate each and every one of you. Let's get started. So after a 10-day manhunt following the December 30th shootings, authorities have arrested Dr. Michael David McKee, Monique's ex-husband and a former vascular surgeon. I say former because if he's convicted, he's not going to have his medical device. He's not going to have his medical license anymore. From Chicago. So he was arrested in Chicago. McKee was captured in Rockford, Illinois on January 10th and appeared in court this week, where he waived his right to extradition hearing, signaling a swift return to Ohio to face the 2 counts of premeditated aggravated murder. Remember, his charges were upgraded. While the Tempe's 2 young children were miraculously found unharmed inside their Columbus home, the community is still reeling from what police are now calling targeted DV-related attack, you guys. Today we are breaking down the newly released evidence from the surveillance footage that tracked McKee across state lines to the disturbing details emerging about his past. What drove a successful surgeon allegedly to commit such a calculated crime? Let's get into the latest updates, you guys. So before we get started, I want to just point out this photo is my favorite of them, I think, out of even with the wedding photos. They look just like a wonderful, happy couple. It's tragic, like I said. So the other day I showed some information here, and it was from a family member of Dr. Michael McKee. And they were asking for prayers. Michael's actually a family member. My heart stopped when I read this. When we were growing up, I was always amazed by his kindness, how gifted he was in sports and academics. This is totally out of character for him. All parties definitely need our prayers. Such a sad situation. It makes me sad to think of what kind of headspace he was in to do such a thing. My heart goes out to him. Talking about Michael. It is definitely a dark world out there right now, and one of us could be victim to the dark side. So please stick close to God and a few people you can trust. Keep moving towards the light. God will not fail us. So the same person also stated that Michael, I'm just going to keep saying allegedly until he's convicted of it. He threatened her life while they were married, put a pillow over her face while she was asleep, told her if she ever left him, he would unalive her. She told her friends, talking about Mo, if anything ever happened to her, if she was ever unalive, to tell the police to look at her ex. So prayers for their victims and family. Goes on to say their showings were today. So someone was talking about when their showings were the other day. So it feels really poor taste to be asking for prayers for the person who took the lives of 2 innocent parents. Your cousin is a narcissistic psychopath who left 2 babies parentless. I feel the same way. So I'm going to remove this right here, and we're going to get started with the current update of the police, what they have stated. Give me just a second. We're going to pull that up. I appreciate all of you for being here. And here we go. Okay. All right, let's read over this here. This is the current update as of now. So this is by the Columbus Dispatch. This is the local news for them. We're going to go ahead and start going over this. And it goes on to say that just want to show you when it came out. January 14th, 2026, Columbus police have a murder weapon and Tempe double homicide, she says. So now police have actually came out and said that they had searched the home of Dr. Michael McKee and actually found several weapons inside the home, you guys. They haven't told us what weapons were found, but this is just a summary of when they searched the home. So it goes on to say Columbus police have recovered a gun that they believe that was used in deaths of Weinland Park couple. Chief Elaine Bryant said during an update on the case on January 14th. Bryant, speaking to the media, said police believe they have the man responsible for the December 30th deaths of Monique Tempe, 39, and Spencer Tepe, 37, in custody. The Tempes were found dead inside their home on the 1400 block of North 4th Street after Spencer Tempe didn't show up for work at the dentistry office in Athens where he practiced. Bryant said police traced a vehicle on surveillance cameras in the area of the Tempe home shortly before the homicides and leaving shortly after to Monique's ex-husband, Michael David McKee. That vehicle was found in Rockford, Illinois, where McKee, 39, practiced medicine. He was taken arrest near a fast food restaurant in Rockford on January 10th. How could you even eat? How could you even eat after doing such? See, this, you can tell that this person is sick. It goes on to say that during the January 14th briefing, Bryant confirmed McKee is believed to be the person in the January 5th surveillance. I'm going to go ahead and see if we can play this here. This surveillance here. You can tell now by looking at McKee, in my opinion, that this is him walking. Look at the footsteps. Just look at the build. Same type of build. No, we only have like a video of him standing around, like younger photos of him standing around with some other people. And then we have him walking, but he does have shackles on. So it's kind of difficult to actually, you know what I mean, see there. But you can tell by the build. All right.
Tepe in custody. Detectives filed warrants charging Michael D. McKee, 39, with 2 counts of murder in the deaths of Spencer and Monique Tepe. This was a targeted attack. This was a domestic violence related attack. As we know, McKee is the ex-husband of Monique Tepe. We can say that we have the suspect's vehicle on neighborhood video surveillance arriving just before the murders and leaving shortly after. The vehicle was located in Rockford, Illinois, and evidence was found that showed McKee in possession of the vehicle before and after the homicides. We can also say that multiple weapons were taken from the property of McKee, and there is a preliminary link from our NIBIN to one of the weapons that ties it to the homicides.
All right. So that's one pair of glasses.
All right, guys, let's read the rest of this. That was just kind of like a breakdown of the news conference. We will play the entire thing in just a moment. I also have a new update from the police. So, police searched McKee's Chicago condo and found additional evidence, including multiple firearms, Bryant said. One of those weapons has been preliminarily matched through ballistic databases with the evidence from the homicide scene. McKee invoked his rights and did not speak with detectives after the arrest, police said. Okay. On January 14th, Bryant said police could not yet comment, on the potential motive for the deaths, but did say the killings were a targeted attack connected to DV. Bryant would not comment about what level of contact, if any, McKee had with the Tempes. She did say police had no previous reports about concerns of stalking or threats filed by the Tempes. See, there's no previous reports, but I believe, in my opinion, from reading other statements from his side of the family and others, that they were told about certain actions he had done to her. McKee is charged with murder and the aggravated murder in Franklin County court in connection with both of their deaths, Monique and Spencer. He is currently being held in Winnebago County, Illinois, awaiting for extradition to Ohio. A timeline for McKee might first appear in Franklin County is not yet known. So that is all for this. I want to take you guys over here and show you this update. I appreciate all of you for being here. I try to bring out and show everybody the most latest news. Okay, so this just came out about an hour ago. Says Columbus police update on the investigation. Police Chief Elaine Bryant held a media briefing regarding the tragic homicides of Spencer Monque. So the investigation findings, right? Targeted attack. Chief Bryant confirms they were not random but related to DV. Arrest made. Michael David McKee, Monique's ex-husband, has been arrested and charged with 2 counts of premeditated murder. No forced entry. Investigators found no signs of forced entry, indicating the attack occurred while the victims were inside their home. So this statement right here, what do you guys think about that? I want to hear your thoughts below on how do you believe that this man got inside their home? How do you believe that David Michael McKee, the one responsible who has been arrested now for unaliving Spencer Tepe and his wife, Monique Tepe, how do you think this man got into their home? I want you to comment below and let me know your theories on this. This is very important. They're not coming out and saying exactly how he got in their home. So there's only a few ways, in my opinion, that he could have actually gotten their home. He could have guessed the code, right? We do know that he was watching their wedding video over and over and over again. We do know that, a lot of people use their birthdays or their wedding, some kind of special date to do like passwords or codes or something like that, right? It's just a common fact. So what do you guys think? I want you to comment below, you guys. I actually got some information in as well just now, and I'm just going to read it over to you. This is breaking. So it says here that there was some type of device to shear or fracture, leaving a 8.6-inch portion of the device in. So this would be concerning Michael David McKee, MD, to properly train and supervise another person here, caused a catheter or device to shear or fracture. So a malpractice looks like lawsuit as well on Mr. McKee. Wow. So I wanted to throw that breaking information out at you as well. All right, let's get in. Now that you've wrote down below what your theories are on how this man might have gotten inside their home, it's just new information coming out all the time, right? About this. We just find more and more and more out. So next, children safe. The couple's 2 children were inside the house during the incident, but remained unharmed. So I know there was rumors about the children were locked inside. There was also rumors that McKee might have given them some kind of food or something. I'm sorry. This is not a nice guy. If the co-workers of Spencer, if they imagine if Spencer was off work, right? Because it was around the holidays. And in my opinion only, if Spencer was off work, right? It was around the holidays. This guy might have thought that they were on holiday. How did he know Spencer had to go to work the next day? Those kids could have been left in that home for a week or more until if Spencer didn't have to go to work, you guys. Right? Thank God that the colleagues were so persistent on finding out what happened. Just my opinion. So no, in my opinion, Dr. Michael McKee, right? The guy is a monster. He didn't do anything nice by either locking the door or leaving them food. It's ridiculous. Next, evidence. Connection. A firearm linked to the crime has been traced back to McKee's residence in the Chicago area. However, specific details about the weapon are being withheld to protect the investigation. Right? Next, arrest details. McKee was apprehended in the Rockford, Chicago area over the weekend of January 10th and 11th, 2026, and waived extradition to return to Ohio. He also has he has a court appointed attorney as of now. So some people were talking about that. He will most likely get a pro bono attorney when he returns to Ohio, I'm pretty sure, or maybe he'll just stick with the court appointed attorney. Who knows? So Chief Bryant praised the community for their tips and surveillance footage, describing McKee's arrest as a crucial step in this case. Police are maintaining confidentiality on certain aspects of the investigation to ensure fair legal process. Absolutely. So that is the most updated. Now we are going to go over to the new video regarding the police chief. That way you guys can have a breakdown here. Give me 1 second. Pull this up. You guys please hit that like and share and subscribe for me. I appreciate you. I want to grow my channel out.
Of North 4th Street on a well-being check. Officers arrived at scene and located the 2 adult victims suffering from apparent gunshot wounds. We now know that they were identified as Mr. Spencer Tepe and Mrs. Monique Tepe. Their 2 small children were also found in the residence, physically unharmed. On January 10th, 2026, detectives filed warrants charging Michael D. McKee, 39, with 2 counts of murder in the deaths of Spencer and Monique Tepe. Mr. McKee was arrested in Rockford, Illinois without incident. He's currently incarcerated in the Winnebago County Jail and awaiting extradition to Columbus. We believe at this point, we have the person responsible for the murders of Monique and Spencer Tepe in custody, and that person is Michael McKee. This is still an active and ongoing investigation. Detectives are still going through evidence, tips, and videos. We can't speak to all the specific details related to this case, so we don't want to jeopardize the ultimate goal of conviction. But what we can say, this was a targeted attack. This was a domestic violence related attack. As we know, McKee is the ex-husband of Monique Tepe. We can say that we have the suspect's vehicle on neighborhood video surveillance arriving just before the murders and leaving shortly after. Detectives were able to link this vehicle to McKee. The vehicle was located in Rockford, Illinois, and evidence was found that showed McKee in possession of the vehicle before and after the homicides. We can also say that multiple weapons were taken from the property of McKee. And there's a preliminary.
Multiple weapons were taken. Multiple. Just wanted to reiterate that. Here, I'm going to turn on the closed captions for you too.
Link from our NIBIN to one of the weapons that ties it to the homicides. I want to say that our detectives work around the clock to be able to solve this case, but it's equally important to know that while this is gaining national attention, we work around the clock to solve all of our homicide cases. I'd like to bring the mayor up now to have him say a few words.
Thank you, Chief, and thank you all for joining us this morning. I want to thank Chief Bryant, the women and men of the homicide division who have done an incredible job on this case and so many other cases, 100 cases solved in 2025 because of their tireless work and professionalism and tips and information from the community that helped us achieve such incredible solve rates. I want to thank also members of the press for sharing timely information, including the video footage of the person of interest that we know now is Mr. McKee. Members of the community for supporting CPD's investigation and for continuing to pray and support the Tepe family, particularly these little children. Just want to take a moment to express gratitude, grief, and resolve, not only for myself, but for the entire Columbus community. Grateful to the Division of Police for their professionalism and persistence and for their tireless work and collaboration that led to this arrest. You followed the facts and evaluated every credible lead with intentionality, integrity, and care for the victims and their families. I also want to thank members of the community who stepped forward with video footage and tips. Like so many cases CPD solved in 2025, the public helped us work this case. It's a clear example of how public safety is strongest when police and community are working together. I'm encouraged by the cooperation that continues to grow between our police and our residents. I pray this collaboration will help us prevent violent crime from happening in the first place. But it's also a powerful, powerful tool for solving crime when it does occur. The tips that were submitted in this case mattered. And I'm grateful to the residents and businesses who shared information. As Chief described, this was a targeted domestic violence attack that resulted in the deaths of 2 people and irreparably changed the lives of their children, families, colleagues, and friends. Our hearts remain with Spencer and Monique, their loved ones, and especially the children impacted by this unimaginable loss. As this case now moves through the criminal justice process, we'll continue to respect this investigation and allow investigators and prosecutors to do their work. As Chief said, we will not do or say anything that will compromise the likelihood of a conviction. One thing we can still offer this family is the best possible chance at a conviction and justice for this unspeakable crime. We could also continue to lift up this family in our thoughts and prayers. I will continue to lift up every one of the 84 families that lost a loved one due to violence in 2025. I know the Chief and the Division of Police will too, in their thoughts and their actions. I know this case has taken on national interest, but I want to tell each of these families, these 84 families, CPD pursues every case with the same intensity, commitment, and resolve. Thank you all for being here.
Motive in this case? I mean, why did he allegedly kill Monique and Spencer and also leave the children alive?
At this time, we cannot comment on the motive. Again, part of the investigation.
I'm going to stop it right there. What do you guys think of a motive? What do you think the motive could have been for him unaliving his ex-wife and her husband? Now, in the beginning, when I started following this case, I said that it had to have been someone that had animosity towards them, someone close. I felt that because, and I was saying it has to be a man, because the fact that the husband was shot several times and she was shot in the side close to her heart, right? It tells me that it had to have been someone like they dated, or I was thinking maybe a bad deal gone wrong or something of the matter. But I want to know your thoughts below. What do you think the motive could have been for unaliving these two people?
Any other evidence in the Lincoln Park?
What I can tell you is that we did search his property and we have evidence, but I can't speak to any specific evidence.
Can you tell us which police agency arrested him and where he was taken into custody in Rockford?
Sure. This case is a great example of partnerships. So our partners with Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms, ATF, federal agents, took him into custody very close to his place of employment.
What can you tell us about McKee's whereabouts between the day of the crime and the day he was picked up?
Part of the investigation, unfortunately, as we talked about, we're not able to share specifics, but what we can tell you is that we have evidence that he was there during the time of the actual homicides.
You said there were no signs of forced entry. Are you able to say any more about how he got into the house?
Unfortunately, we're not able to talk about that at this moment.
Is there any indication he had interactions with the kids, or the kids may have seen or heard anything at this point?
We don't have that information. Again, part of the investigation, there's just certain things we can't talk about.
Neighbors had said that they had seen McKee in the neighborhood and in front of the Tepe home days before the homicide. Can you confirm that?
At this time, we're unable to.
I want to stop it there. So on one of my videos that I did with an update a few days ago, I had mentioned that neighbors actually witnessed Dr. Michael David McKee standing out by the Tempe's gate. Do you guys remember that? Put it yes or no down below. And I remember saying, that is so creepy, right? Just really creepy. So they can't talk about it right now because of the investigation, but why would the neighbors lie about this, right? Why? And then we heard from the neighbors had said something like they heard whisperings of somebody talking outside the home as well. Yeah. Let me know if you guys heard about that.
Talk about specific information, but again, when we get additional information, we'll be more happy to share it to the public.
I know this is an ongoing investigation. I don't know if you can say this, but obviously they were divorced. Are you able to say anything about their relationship after that divorce? It was in 2017. Were they civil? I know he had a second wife as well.
Again, there is.
There you go. There you go. The reporter just said, I know he had a second wife as well. Wow. A second wife as well. So we spoke about that as well in the video the other day, and it wasn't confirmed. And I announced it as a rumor that he had a second wife, but yes, it is confirmed now. The mainstream media asking questions about it. So he did have a second wife.
Investigation is still ongoing. Just understand, we're still collecting information. We're still going through a lot of evidence, and there's just some things that we can't speak to right now.
Can you talk about the extradition? Will you be going to Rockford and pick him up, and when will that happen?
I'll let you speak to that.
Sure. We have policy related to extraditions. Felony warrants out of state are primarily handled by extradition companies. And so the determination of whether or not it will be detectives from Columbus or an outside entity likely an outside entity, but the logistics are being worked out as we speak.
Any idea when that will happen?
I don't know when that will happen.
What kind of weapons did you find in his home?
I'm not gonna-
We can't speak to specific weapons, but we did recover multiple weapons from the home, from his property.
How quickly was McKee a suspect? I know that family told us they pretty much assumed that he was behind this crime.
What I can tell you is that every piece of evidence, every tip that we received, we immediately began to investigate it. So I can't give you a specific timeline, but any information that came in was immediately evaluated and investigated.
Are you able to say about how many tips you received? Obviously, people became really attached to this case.
Do you know specific numbers?
We don't have an exact number of the amount of tips that came in because some of them were the same or similar. So it was numerous and it was from multiple sources, which was greatly appreciated from the community, the media, the past individuals that were knowledgeable and familiar with the family, and then the residents of the area, which ultimately led us to this day right now.
You don't believe that's in that photo?
We know digital forensics and DNA play a big role in investigations these days, but it doesn't happen in 60 minutes with commercial breaks. Is there any sense of the timeline of when some of that information will become available to you guys through that testing?
We're continuously looking for information, waiting for information. Unfortunately, we can't give you a specific timeline, but we're continuously working to get that information in.
The family mentioned that Monique previously said that he had been abusive towards her in the past. Was there any evidence or indication of that prior to this incident?
What I can tell you is that we did not have any reports, or we did not have any information related to any type of incidents regarding the ex-husband and Monique.
So the family did say that, and I'm going to show you a video shortly on this, that there was stuff that Monique had said about previous issues between Monique and, I'm just going to call him Michael McKee. And the family came out, but there was no documentation of it, unless there is and it's just being hidden. What do you guys think? I want you to comment below. Let me know what you think.
Tell us if McKee and Mrs. Tepe had any contact leading up to this incident, months, weeks?
Any stalking concerns there?
Again, what we can share with you, we are sharing with you. There are some things that we can't share for investigative purposes, but what I can tell you again is that we didn't have any reports or anything linked to that specific location as it relates to the ex-husband and Monique Tepe.
Do you believe he's the person in the video that you shared, the person of interest?
We do.
Okay.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Oh, wait.
All right, Columbus Police wrapping up an update.
Okay. So that is the most recent update. It just came out, and I read you the information that just came out as well within the hour. I do want to show you a couple more short clips. I appreciate you staying with me and going over this case. Let's get justice for what happened to these two people, and not just to them, to their entire family and their children. It just upsets me so bad. Okay, let's get started here. Give me a second. This is credit to Good Morning America.
We're going to turn now to the Ohio couple that was killed in their home. The wife's ex-husband is in custody, waiting to be extradited to the state to face charges. And this morning, we're hearing from their family, and Will, you have the latest for us?
I do, Michael. Good morning to you. So Monique Tepe's family says her ex-husband put her through torment, and now that ex-husband stands accused of killing her and her new husband, leaving a grieving family behind.
She just had to get away from him.
This morning, the family of Monique and Spencer Tepe speaking out about her ex-husband, now accused of murdering the couple. Monique's brother-in-law, Rob Misla, saying Monique told him Dr. Michael McKee was emotionally abusive.
Myself and many others were well aware of kind of the negative impact that he had on her. She was willing to do anything to get out of there.
McKee is charged with 2 counts of aggravated murder. Investigators say he shot and killed the couple last month.
Your name, sir, for the record? Michael McKee.
Authorities say the 39-year-old vascular surgeon killed the Tepes in the early hours of December 30th at their Columbus, Ohio home. A concerned friend going to the home, where he heard the Tepes' 4-year-old girl and 1-year-old boy.
I can hear kids inside, and I swear I think I heard one yell, but we can't get in.
A massive 10-day manhunt ending with authorities taking McKee into custody Saturday morning, about 400 miles from the crime scene. Divorce documents show Monique and McKee's marriage was brief. They wed in 2015 and split abruptly in 2017, citing they were in.
I want to just reiterate that. So they wed in 2015. So Monique married McKee, right, in 2015. They split within 6 to 7 months, guys. And the divorce was finalized in 2017. So something tells me there that he didn't want to sign those divorce papers. He was even being petty enough. Think about this. This man here was being so petty that he made her pay for some type of loan. And if she didn't pay for it by a certain time period, I think it was July 2025, I believe, that he would start putting accrued interest on there of 23%. That's nuts. That's like a bad credit card, right? And then remember, she had listed that she had ownership of the Jeep, I believe it was, and then she purchased the wedding rings. Like one was $2,500 for his, and maybe hers was $3,500. We showed a list a couple of videos back with that. If you guys want to go to my playlist of this case here, you can catch up on everything that you've missed. I've covered so much in this case since it started. All right, let's finish with this video here. And I have one more thing to show you.
Compatible. Monique speaking about her past relationships in her wedding vows to Spencer.
From day one, I knew you were something special. I had quite a journey to get to you. Countless bad bumble dates, wrong relationships, and waterfalls of tears. But it was worth every cringing second because it led me to you.
We just want justice. We want this person that took so much from not just us as a family, but so many more people, and obviously the kids especially. We want this person to pay for what they did.
And McKee's public defender says he plans to plead not guilty. Just such a sad story.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah.
I'm going to remove that real quick. Give me just a second. I have one more thing to show you. Just 1 second. Okay, give me a second. I want to show you one more thing. The poor brother-in-law has been through it as well. You know, he was asked, I'm pretty positive, to come out and talk about them, and he just got so much backlash. It's very devastating, and you could tell it hurts. It hurts him and the family. Yes, and justice. I hope and pray justice will be served, and I'm pretty positive it will be served. The Columbus police have done such an amazing job on gathering evidence, on following leads, and doing it quickly, you guys. What has it been? 12 days? No, excuse me. 13 days, something like that. 14 days. Just say it's been around 2 weeks, a little bit over 2 weeks, give or take, right? And they have done a fabulous job. So give them credit, because if they didn't, do this so quickly, this guy could have been on the run somewhere. Also, it makes you wonder that, I wonder if, like, she let her guard down some. He waited, guys. Like my title said, he's been stalking them. He's been stalking Monique and Spencer this entire time. You can see by how many times the wedding video was watched, how many times their address and stuff was searched. He's been watching them. Sit back and think about that for a minute. Do you know how violated that makes you feel when someone is sitting there watching you from afar or even close, following you, your every step? That's like that song, I'll be watching. Oh gosh, like I have goosebumps. It's so creepy, right? And I wonder if they let their guard down. Maybe that's why he waited. I don't know. I can't get inside someone's mind like that. But why on earth? Think about it. Just think about it for a minute. They've been divorced since 2017, right? And it's almost been a decade. Well, they split up in 2015. So it's been 11 years. 11 years since they split up. What triggered him, right? What triggered him to act now and do this? Has he been planning it all along since she left? Because you remember I told you that she moved out away from him when he was at work. He had no idea. She had to get away from him. So it was bad, right? It was bad in my opinion. So why now though? Why now? What triggered him to do this right now? And did they run into him somewhere when he was in town saying he was visiting family? Wow. All right. I got one more thing to show you, and then we will part ways for today, but I will definitely keep you updated. All right. This is just a short 5-minute video, you guys. I really want to know your thoughts.
More cases under his belt than me. Retired homicide detective with a lot more cases under his belt than me. 400 of them at the Houston Police Department. Phil, it's good to have you back on the show. Thank you so much for doing this. So is it your expertise, my friend, that criminals simply seem to think they're invisible while driving in the dark?
Well, it's good to be back with you. It's been a while. Happy New Year. Yeah, there's always that feeling that running around under a cover of darkness where darkness is the absence of light. And so that gives them a form of security that can't be found anywhere else. And especially in an event like this, traveling at night, he may have traveled during the day. We don't know yet. Waited around, did his recon, and then he went and did what he did.
Mm-hmm.
And then he travels back at night. So it is a comfort to guys like this that they think they are invisible on the road.
Well, listen, again, I keep repeating it, innocent until proven guilty, but look at these routes. I want you to weigh in on the importance of routes taken and routes avoided, meaning.
Okay, I just want to stop this for a minute. So this map here is routes, basically, or routes, however you pronounce it, that Dr. Michael McKee took, right? And now I was told that he was in town by their home to visit family. So these look like quick ways, like maybe toll roads or something like this. This looks like it would be like more like I don't have Google Earth opened right now, so I can't see the name of the maps, but let's see what they say. So this is actually no, because this would be the long way around, 5 hours and 45 minutes. That's a straight shot. And this might actually be a highway right here. So those are routes he would have taken. So anywho, it's almost a 5.5, 6 hour drive. Think about that. And usually when people drive, usually they have time to cool off, right? They have time to cool off and what the hell am I doing? So, you get in the car, you're like, what the hell am I doing? Blah, blah, blah. I mean, I'm just saying for other things as well. Why am I going here? Why am I doing this? No, in my opinion, if he was over there in Chicago and he drove straight to their house, That's a man on a freaking mission, you guys. That's a man on the mission. But I've also heard he was in town for family. So I don't know. Let me know what you know below.
If a longer route was taken to avoid tolls, that speaks volumes to a homicide detective, doesn't it?
Well, all of these movements are going to mean something. They're going to tell part of the story. So what was interesting to me, what will be, is if they determine, and I'm sure they will, what was the route that he took going, and did that change in the route coming back? And is there some sort of plan that he had that this was going to, he thought he was throwing people off. But, you know, they're going to pull data, I would think, out of the car. If he had his cell phone with him, data out of there that's going to track him one way or the other. So it will be interesting to see if he tried to alter the routes to kind of throw off his trail a little bit, so to speak.
I've done a few crimes where there have been long drives. And again, he's innocent until proven guilty. But if Dr. McKee did this, is it possible that he and his, I'm guessing, very expensive defense attorney, because he's a vascular surgeon and he's going to hire one, is it possible they could use the excuse, yes, I drove that route. I needed to talk to her, and that's all I planned to do to get them off the death penalty and premeditated murder?
Well, that's a good question, and I've been pondering what their approach is going to be for his defense. So they can I guess proffer that, they can say that kind of thing, but you know, this is a case like all homicides where you let the evidence lead you where you need to be, and it's always a journey for the truth. They can have their opinions about what he did, and they
See, right there, in my opinion, if they can definitely get the IP address that had watched them on their wedding. I mean, even from, what was it, November 15th or something like that, which would have been a month and so prior, right, to their unaliving. If they can get the IP address for whomever did that and looked up their names and their address and stuff like that, also driving that far too, they can get him on premeditated. They absolutely can, just by the IP addresses. Now, this would be a second way, right? This could be to nail in the coffin, right? To get him on those charges, because in my opinion, if he's avoiding toll roads and he's avoiding being seen, right? He doesn't want to be seen. I don't see why they're saying, oh, I needed to talk to her. There's no reason you need to talk to her, right? You don't have any children together. There's been, you know, family members and friends that have been notified that there was DV before going on, problems between the two. You know, I feel like they got too comfortable. She let her guard down and he came in like a wolf. It's sad.
They can tell the story, but they can't have their own set of facts. And these kind of facts that I think they're going to be developed in the digital footprint that he made on this journey are going to be pretty hard to dispute. And I don't think that some weak argument about, hey, I was just going up there to have a chat and it just turned bad, that's not going to mean there's not a lot of depth.
Well, especially if they find a murder weapon, which we don't know if they've done that, but if they find a murder weapon, it's like you don't go for a chat and take ballistics with you. So that could wipe that off the map right there. I only have 30 seconds left, but I got to ask you, because you know about what happens to someone after he or she commits murder. And I wanted you to just weigh in on that drive home and what your thoughts are about what that drive home might have been like if he actually killed those people.
Well, I can tell you, I had a case similar to this, where it was a long period of time, 8 hours. This particular character made 3 trips in about 30 hours, 8-hour trips. So 24 hours worth of driving. And I can tell you that these guys that do this kind of thing, especially something like this that is fueled with this intimate relationship, it's the same kind of thing, the same kind of high that Tom Cruise gets when he launches off of a mountainside on a motorcycle. It is the adrenaline rush, the dopamine, everything that happens in a moment of thrill. That's what he's experiencing. And I would be surprised if he even remembers anything about the drive home, other than the fact that he left the location and he arrived at his residence. So that period of time, that's a long period of time to think about what she did. And I would imagine part of it is going to be justifying, hey, I was right. I did what I had to do to protect myself, whatever that self was that he was trying to take care of. So yeah, it's a moment of reflection. I would imagine that he's looking up in that mirror at himself and he's thinking, yeah, I did this thing, and he is further justifying everything that he did.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe.
All right, let's remove this. Okay, closing statements. Now, the officer, retired op, he said that he thinks that Dr. Michael McKee had the long drive, right? The 5.5, 6 hour drive back to Chicago, right? Lincoln Park, Chicago, from after he unalived the Tempes. And how he's describing Dr. Michael McKee is that like a narcissist, right? Like a narcissist that's like, haha, I did this, or a sociopath or something like that to nature, right? Now, I'm not going to say like a normal people don't do stuff like this, right? But like a normal person, in my opinion, would be like, oh my God, what did I just do? I cannot believe I did that. Oh my gosh, the kids. And the kids too, right? Like, think about it. He obviously didn't care. He knew there were children in there. I'm sure the first sound when the shot went off, the first shot that went off, that those children had to have started screaming. In my opinion, the kids weren't too far away. They couldn't have been too far away. Parents usually are on the same floor as where their children are. If they have like a 2-story or 3-story home, right? They're usually on the same floor, not too far away, bedroom over. Sometimes even parents have their 1-year-old child still in the room with them. You know what I mean? Like sometimes. Or when they start outgrowing like the bassinet or whatnot, sometimes they have the crib even in their room. But it makes you wonder if they had a crib in the room or something and he moved the 1-year-old into the room with the 4-year-old. Now, I'm just speculating here. I'm just thinking of stuff. But the thing is, he knew there were children in the home. And he continued on doing what he did. This is not someone that's thinking right? This is someone that is sick in the head, you guys. All right. I want to leave it at this point, and I want to hear from you. I want to hear your thoughts, your opinions. Is there something else that you are still questioning? Let me know below. And don't forget to go check out my playlist for Dr. Spencer Tepe and Monique Tepe, his wife. Let there be justice served. Thank you all for watching Daphne's Case Files. This is Daphne from Daphne's Detention. Have a great day. Thanks for watching.